1st May, Saint Joseph the Worker. Optional Memoria. A reading from the Constitution of the Second Vatican Council on the Church in the Modern World. Man's activity in the world. Man has always striven to develop his life through his mind and his work. Today, his efforts have achieved a measure of success, for with the help of science and technology, he has extended and continues to extend his mastery over nearly all spheres of nature. Thanks primarily to an increase in all kinds of interchange between nations, the human family is gradually coming to recognize itself as constituting one single community over the whole earth. As a result, man now produces by his own enterprise many things which in former times he looked far from heavenly powers. In the face of this immense enterprise, now involving the whole human race, men are troubled by numerous questions. What is the meaning and value of this feverish activity? How should all these things be used? To what goal is all this individual and collective enterprise heading? The Church is guardian of the heritage of the Divine Word and draws religious and moral principles from it. But she does not always have a ready answer to every question. Still, she is eager to associate the light of revelation with the experience of mankind in trying to clarify the course upon which mankind has just entered. Individual and collective activity, that monumental effort of man through the centuries to improve the circumstances of the world, presents no problem to believers. Considered in itself, it corresponds to the plan of God. Man was created in God's image and was commanded to conquer the earth with all it contains and to rule the world in justice and holiness. He was to acknowledge God as maker of all things and relate himself and the totality of creation to him, so that through the dominion of all things by man, the name of God would be majestic in all the earth. This holds good also for our daily work. When men and women provide for themselves and their families in such a way as to be of service to the community as well, they can rightly look upon their work as a prolongation of the work of the Creator, a service to their fellow men, and their personal contribution to the fulfillment in history of the divine plan. Far from considering the conquest of man's genius and courage as opposed to God's power, as if he set himself up as a rival to the Creator, the Christian ought to be convinced that the achievements of the human race are a sign of God's greatness and the fulfillment of His ineffable design. With an increase in human power comes a broadening of responsibility on the part of individuals and communities. There is no question, then, of the Christian message inhibiting men from building up the world or making them disinterested in the good of their fellows. On the contrary, it is an incentive to do these very things.